have a fun team here. It's a good team, and I know people are going to get caught up in, well, who would the Knicks rather play? What doesn't matter?
It's the Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings from 9 till 11. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Golf is a game that should be fun, but to have the most fun, you need to play your best. That's where the experts at Golf Plus come in. Their friendly staff will guide you through the buying process, answer all your questions, and can help with any repairs you need along the way. Golf Plus is your custom fitting, club repair, and golf retail shop. Golf Plus staff is non-commissioned and will work with you to find the best product for your game, just like they've been doing since 1988. Golf Plus in Panama City Beach. Fitting, repair, retail. That's Golf Plus.
360-degree protection of your home, 365 days a year, one low monthly price.
Brock Lawn and Pest Control offers an affordable program that provides our customers with peace of mind. Brock 365.
We like bundling pest control with termite protection for a low monthly payment. We couldn't be happier with the results. Most treatments are done outside, and we haven't had any issues in over 3 years.
Call us today for your free consultation.
Brock Lawn and Pest Control.
Your safety and proper care of your boat in an emergency is crucial. When it comes to on-water assistance, response time is everything. And since 1996, in the Bay or on the Gulf, it's SeaTow. SeaTow's Coast Guard licensed captains are on the scene in an average of 1 hour or less. SeaTow gets members home or back to boating faster. Become a member today at SeaTow.com or call 850-234-2323.
Full residential and commercial projects from start to finish. Wheelhouse is ready to help. From the moment you have the thought to build to the moment you step through the front door of your finished project, Wheelhouse Consulting and Engineering will walk you through all of your aspirations. Engineering, site plans, live architectural design, construction, 3D rendering, permits, and more. Wheelhouse Consulting and Engineering, 850-896-6597, 850-896-6597, and online at wheelhousedba.com.
It's time to take your season to the next level when the Jaguars return to the bank in 2026. Become a season ticket member and unlock exclusive access to ticketed events, members-only experiences, NFL membership club perks, and more. Availability is limited due to in-bowl renovations, so don't wait. Call 904-633-2000 or visit jaguars.com/season tickets to secure your spot at the center of the action. We'll see you at the bank this fall.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe, ESPN Northwest Florida.
The locals love it.
Lights, camera, action.
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Do you know who I am?
Live and local inside the J. Michaels studio.
People know me.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
I want no hot tub. It's a summer. Hey, nice bath.
Ooh, I like a nice bath.
Yeah!
Yeah!
Yeah! Well, indeed. If you had the over on 5 or 4 days this week for Coach Hale, you lost. But, that's nothing normal. Brian had it sitting in for Coach Hale today on this fabulous, fabulous Friday in June on the Coach James Hale Show. Joined by the fantastic Friday crew. We're down a member, though, so slotting right into the Barant chair, Jason Kovaleski. Good morning, Jason.
Hey, how's it going, man?
And I'm going to get it right again. It's going to be second week in a row. Kyle Vandegrift is joining us.
Not my brother.
No. Although it appears he sent a little attack through the wall. The Georgia sign.
Yeah, for all the listeners, I sat down
you.
in the chair and the Georgia sign here in the studio fell on my head.
Randy,
it sped right out of that wall.
Call your lawyer, Randy.
Go Dogs.
Came out of nowhere.
And James holding us down in the fishbowl. What's up, James?
going on, guys?
Rocking
Happy
the Bravos
Friday.
jersey.
Got the Bravos jersey on. My Freddie
Best team in
Freeman
baseball,
going
people.
on.
Get it right.
Although, trying to get a little spirit back after didn't sweep the series last night.
No sweep last night. Came out by the third inning down 3-0. Never fully recovered after that.
Yeah.
Sale Good night, not a great night, giving up 10 hits, but only ended up giving up the 3 earned runs. So he kept it in there once he got the bases on. So, you can't blame him all the time.
Well, look, that's 3 series wins in a row for the Braves, and they will start a new set tonight at home, Truist Park, versus those Pittsburgh Pirates. And you can listen to that right here after the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson this afternoon. Coverage will pick up at 6 p.m. tonight with first pitch at 6:15. Again, Braves versus Pirates. You can listen to that right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Braves on the Gulf Coast are sponsored by Hewitt Tire and Auto, Brock Pest Control, Bill Bird Kia, PCB Hobby, Cito, Blue Diamond Truck Accessories. And again, let's see if the Braves can make it 4 series wins in a row. Well, speaking of baseball, let's pivot over to a little bit of college baseball again. The Super Regionals get kicked off today. And I know last week we were discussing the way that the Super Regionals would work, and there was a little bit of confusion over, do they start Friday like a normal series, go Friday, Saturday, Sunday if necessary. And then it was no, they start Saturday and they go Saturday, Sunday, and Monday if necessary. Well, the NCAA said both of those are way too darn simple, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to have 4 games start on Friday, and, those will go Friday, Saturday, Sunday if necessary, and then we'll have the other 4 games start on Saturday. Yeah, fair enough, whatever. The only problem I have is by the time Alabama and St. John's play their game Saturday night, that'll be game one. First pitch, game 1 will be 8 p.m. Central Time.
Yeah, 8 o'clock.
There will already be 4 series that have completed 2 games. So we might have half of the Omaha field set before the Alabama-St. John's series even pitches. It's crazy. So
interesting.
I don't know. Like I said, they never asked me, what to do on these things. But let me go over the schedule of that. We're going to do picks late today. We're going to get into that and do it. But just so any of you are wondering, the thing I do like, James and I were talking about this before we came on the air, the thing I do like is that if you are a college baseball fan, you do have the opportunity to watch multiple games. You don't have 8 games all going at once. That part's good. So today, we're going to have Cal Poly against West Virginia. That'll get us started at 11 a.m. Central Time. Then we're going to have Southern California, not South Carolina, Coach, but USC, going to play North Carolina in Chapel Hill. That'll be at 2 p.m. today.
Go Tar Heels.
There you go. Little Rock at Troy. Troy hosting a Super Regional.
Go Troy.
Get into my thoughts about that. Not so much Troy, but other issues. At 4 p.m. So go Troy. And then Ole Miss at Auburn will finish us off today with first pitch at 7 p.m. tonight. Ironically enough, those 2 teams did not meet this year. Wow. So, well, let's go to the phone lines and let's talk to Rob on a fabulous Friday morning. What's up, Robbie?
Rob. Good morning, guys. How are y'all today?
Holding down the fort here.
Yeah, well, that's good. Well, I would imagine that the ones that are starting today, when they get to Omaha, those Super Regional groups, they'll be the first day at Omaha, and then the ones that are starting tomorrow will be the second day. So, because they have 4, they've got set them up. 4 teams will play, and then the next day, the first 4 rest, and then because, it's kind of so screwed up. It's all set up by TV.
Mm-hmm.
So they're trying to get more eyes and give everybody the opportunity now. Should they not have had it? The ones that play tomorrow play earlier in the day, and but yeah, that's kind of screwy. But anyway, I'm sure that's the way. They've already got the bracket set up at Omaha, who's playing on what day, and so the first 2 start early. But what kills you in that is if the guys that have today get rained out, and then they're tomorrow, then they're trying to squeeze in, and so I'm sure that's what the reasoning is to start them. Off day.
I think that's probably the case, and it is a little weird and unfortunate on the back end coming out of the regionals, but this, of course, has to do with how you play. There could be teams who last week in the regionals closed it out on Saturday, or I guess early Sunday, and then they don't play until tomorrow night, whereas a team like West Virginia, now granted they did it to themselves, they had to close their series out on Monday, and they end up playing on Friday. So they're on a lot less rest than some of these teams, but that's always the way, you know, if you don't get things done or weather interjects or whatever. But
right. Well, see, and I don't remember when Alabama closed theirs out, but Troy played Monday afternoon last.
That's right. Alabama
played,
closed theirs out early. Yeah.
Yeah, they would have had to play if FSU won that first game. They would have had to play late.
That's
Monday night. You know, luckily they're on their trip home was halfway to where they were going, so they didn't have to travel.
Fair enough.
Halfway across the country, you know.
Yeah.
But I remember when ESPN first came out, you know, when they first started televising the College World Series, because I am old, you know. So, but it was always wonderful when we got, oh man, ESPN's going to televise the baseball games. That Florida State was there, and I had friends that I went to high school with that were playing in it, you know. So it was pretty cool to watch some of those guys.
You know, Rob, you just brought some strong memories up, because I remember that too, you know, mid-'80s, watching that Mississippi State team with Clark and Palmero and Jeff Brantley and Bobby Thigpen and some of the old Miami and Oklahoma State teams and Wichita State. That was the first time I'd ever heard of Wichita State.
Yeah.
Shockers.
But if you remember, I know you do, Jason does. Kyle's the baby. I'm sure he doesn't remember this stuff. But back in the early 80s, ESPN was Sports Center, Australian rules football, rodeo, and billiards.
Yeah.
If you stayed up that late.
and now we have knife throwing and axe throwing. And
on ESPN Dio Show.
And cornhole. Bass fishing.
Of course, ESPN's got 37 channels now.
Right.
Right, and now we got the spelling bee on ESPN.
There you go. There you go. Well, what else going on in your world there, Rob?
Same old thing, man. Headed to work.
There you go.
But yeah, here it is. You're right. I did have the over this week. I figured he was there Monday. I didn't figure he was going to sneak out on us on Friday. But
Shocker.
He's on that Johnny Carson schedule there, 4 days a week, and you know.
He's recovering from going from Gulf Coast Jam. He stayed up till 10 p.m. Well, they did say something about there might be a low in the Gulf, so maybe.
That's what it is. Yeah, I heard a raindrop this week and took off. Oh my goodness!
All right, guys.
All right, Rob, get back to work and pay your taxes.
Yeah, have a good one.
Yeah.
See you, Robbie.
And pay mine.
Yeah. Rob, of course, knows this. He calls all the time, but I'll make sure everybody else knows. If you're listening to us right now, you want to call in and join us this morning on the Coach James Hale Show, you can do so at 215-6290. That's 215-6290. So, Jason, I kind of wanted to talk to you about this particularly this morning. We're into the summer now. Kids are out of school. And obviously, rising seniors, rising juniors, rising sophomores, heck, the kids coming in from middle school are starting to think about athletics in the next year. And you would say, they're not thinking about sports. They're just looking forward to the summer. Athletes are thinking about their sports all the time. And so...
Well, biggest gains are made in the offseason.
That's right. And that's...
when you have the time to actually sit and put some real food into your system, really puts a weight training regimen in, because you have more time than have to be in school. It's hard to get enough calories in. This is what I always tell parents. Parents are always like, well, how do I feed this kid? I'm spending thousands of dollars. What do we do? We use mass gainers that can be hugely important, because eating 6,000 calories a day, I don't know any kid that's going to sit around and eat chicken, broccoli, rice, and just in 5 meals a day, 1,000 calories each meal. We have some mass gainers that have like 1,200 calories. So what I try to get most kids to do is eat a balanced breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then use that mass gainer as a mid-meal snack, and then you're getting another 2,400 calories in through a shake, which is easier for a kid to digest. And then you get another 3,000 calories into your meals. Creatine is hugely important. Creatine HMB is super popular now because it's easy on the body. I mean, I wouldn't incorporate it till you're about 16, so we're not telling 13, 14-year-olds to use creatine. It's not like the 90s. There's so much more purification systems in place to make it safe for pretty much everybody, even older people that they're treating dementia with. Cognitive benefits of it are amazing. They've studied over the years. So 5 grams of creatine monohydrate a day, especially about 30 minutes before your workout, is going to help with performance, recovery. HMB is just what an amino acid, and it just kickstarts anabolic activity. It's what leucine breaks down into. So the combination of creatine and HMB can help you, recover and build quite a bit of muscle naturally without doing anything crazy or illegal and something that's going to get you in trouble down the road.
Well, and those shakes, I think, are so critical specifically in the summer because a lot of these kids really do go get summer jobs and they work. And what's the easiest thing in the world to do when you're working and you need something to eat during the day?
Eat crap.
Pop over to McDonald's
Right.
or whatever. And obviously that's not going to be good for you. These shakes are something you can have pre-prepared ready. You just add water, get it to go. Not only filling yourself up, but with the right things.
When I was 15, 16 years old, I was 155 pounds, and I could eat whatever, and I would be 155 pounds. But because I didn't know how much food it really was to get to 4,000 or 5,000 calories. That's a lot of food. I remember Michael Phelps in the Olympics, they put his diet out there. Yeah. He was eating 28,000 calories a day, and he was 160 pounds. Yeah. He couldn't gain weight at all. So. Yeah. I feel where you're coming from, parents. If you want to come in, try one of our mass gainers for free. You can taste it, see how it mixes. We can get them on the right track, but we can put them on the InBody 570, get a starting point, put them on a regimen, and then in 3-4 weeks come back in, and we can actually show you the results of muscle being built and keep your body fat moderately low. In the off season, I don't really care about body fat. We're trying to put on as much muscle as possible. They're going to burn that off when you get into like the they don't do 3-a-days anymore. But when you get into the practices and stuff like that, you're not going to lift as much. You're going to be doing a lot more cardio. So you're going to burn that fat off once you get into the season.
But that's so important because we understand. Look, as parents, you're working. Almost every household now is a 2-parent working household.
Sure.
So you're busy. You're coming running home. You're trying to plan meals for maybe the athlete child in the family, the one who's not an athlete, the parents who are trying to lose weight or whatever like that. It's really hard to give everybody what they need, and they can lean on, your guys at Max Fit Sports Nutrition who are the experts in this, and they can help.
Yeah, and we have tools to show you how the results are coming. You know what I'm saying? The InBody 570 is like a DEXA scan, so it does percent body fat, skeletal muscle. It shows your baseline metabolic rate, which is basically your metabolism, so we know how many calories to feed each individual. So we treat each individual as an individual. We're not like, here's a diet, good luck with it, we'll talk to you in a couple of months. We actually put you through a process where we show you results using our InBody 570, and we could adjust a lot of things. Nobody's going to look at you and give you the perfect diet right off the bat. It's kind of trial and error, see how your metabolism is, see how your body reacts to certain foods. So when we have the InBody, we can track your skeletal muscle, we can track your body fat to see if you are putting on too much fat, if you're not gaining the muscle, so we can adjust your carbs, proteins. But carbs, protein, and fats are going to be the most important thing, and nailing that diet for anybody is going to be a life changer.
And they can come see you at your 2 area convenient locations at?
Yeah, we're on 23rd Street at Del Coronado Village. I'm there 2 to 7 every day. If you want to come talk to me and get your son and daughter right on the right track, we'll put them on the InBody and in Pier Park North next to Dick's Sporting Goods.
Very, very good. Don't forget about it. Summer is a key time for you athletes and just for everybody in general. Get out and see Jason and the crew at Max Fit Sports Nutrition. We come back, going to bounce around the sporting world just a little bit. We might even do a poll or two. What else will we do on the Coach James Hale Show?
Only 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida could bring sports fans like you an app this powerful. The sports content you crave is always on. Live stream us everywhere you go. Now with upgraded programming and live game schedules, you'll always know when the Atlanta Braves and your favorite games are playing. Plus, interact with our local hosts in real time and so much more. The new app for the sports fanatic is available at the Apple Store and Google Play. From 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Anna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Friday. Mostly sunny this afternoon and evening with a moderate breeze out of the south-southeast around 16 miles per hour and temps near 87. Tonight we will have mostly clear skies and a wind speed of 6 miles per hour and be warm at 72. Partly sunny tomorrow and a high 86 with a gentle breeze. Some clouds Sunday with a temp of 87. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs, with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5, and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food, on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
Your safety and proper care of your boat in an emergency is crucial. When it comes to on-water assistance, response time is everything. And since 1996, in the Bay or on the Gulf, it's Seato. Seato's Coast Guard licensed captains are on the scene in an average of 1 hour or less. Seato gets members home or back to boating faster. Become a member today at Seato.com or call 850-234-2323.
Now, it's time for your Atlanta Braves Morning Update, presented by Tidal Wave Auto Spa. Get clean car happy at any of the 250-plus Tidal Wave Auto Spa locations today.
Jays top the Braves in Game 3. I'm Barrett Salee, and this is your Braves Radio Network Morning Update.
Tidal Wave Auto Spa is the official car wash of the Atlanta Braves and your go-to car wash destination all season long. Visit TidalWaveAutoSpa.com to find a location nearest you.
The Jays pound out 16 hits and get 7 runs in a 7-2 win over the Atlanta Braves, as the Braves could not get the sweep. It would have been their 3rd sweep of the season. Chris Sale gets tagged with the loss. He's 8-4 on the season. Gave up 10 hits to the Blue Jays. Braves overall gave up a season worst 16 hits on the evening. But you did see Mauricio Dubon. He went yard for the 2nd straight night.
There's a 1-0 pitch. And Dubon hits it well. Deep left field, rising. Straw back, look it up. That's gone. 1-run game. Mauricio Dubon stings it over the left field wall. His 2nd homer in this series.
Doobie starting to heat up. Pirates come into town starting tonight. Mitch Keller going for the Pirates. He's 5-2, has a 4.35 ERA. Martin Perez gets the ball for the Braves. He's 3-3, has 18 walks and 42 strikeouts. 4 leadoff show at 6. First pitch between the Braves and the Pirates. 7:15 across the street at Truist Park, and you can hear all of it on the Braves Radio Network.
The Coach James Hale Show is live and local from the J. Michaels studio.
Boss, I got good news and bad news.
What's the bad news?
Your hat's on fire.
What?
ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to the Coach James Hale Show. Brian Haddad sitting in for Coach Hale, and apparently Coach Hale has some friends in the tree frog community. Sent them after me during the break, but we'll get into that at a later time. It's a little dangerous in the studio today. We got stuff falling on us and jumping on us and attacking us. Jason, you're next.
We got frogs. What's next? Locusts.
Frogs jumped on us.
Yeah, we go frogs, then we go locusts. Come on, we got, Hale's just sending the plagues in. We're all
Cats
right.
and dogs living together.
Yeah.
Utter chaos. Well, let's have a little fun this morning, because what would the Coach James Hale Show be without some sort of quiz or poll or whatever? So I'm going to go to you 3 experts here. Apologize for that, James. Sorry about that. And we're going to talk about 10 legendary college football head coaches and where they got their first head coaching job. Very few are ever going to be in the case of like a Tom Osborne, who spent his entire career as a head coach at Nebraska, or potentially Kirby Smart, doing the same thing at Georgia. So we'll start with an easy one in terms of the name, but this may not be the easiest one. What I'll do is I'll put it out there for you guys to guess straight out, and if we're struggling, I can give you a multiple choice here.
Yeah, or a hint.
All right, so let's start with, of course, this Coach James Hale Show. We're going to start with Nick Saban. Where did he get his first head coaching job?
Take me home.
West Virginia.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts?
Kent.
He might have been a
Michigan State.
It is not Michigan State. It is not West Virginia.
Kent State.
Kent State is...
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Incorrect. He did coach at Kent State, or actually he went to Kent State and was a defensive coordinator. Coach Saban's first head coaching job is one of these 3 schools: Ball State, Western Michigan, or Toledo.
Western Michigan.
Toledo.
It is Toledo.
Yeah, I knew it was, Ohio.
Very cool. Urban Meyer. There you go, Jason. Delivered you a national championship at Ohio State. Where did he get his first head coaching job?
I'll let y'all go first. I think I know this one.
I knew this one.
It was a famous interview he did.
I'm going to go with Utah, but I don't think that's the
He did coach at Utah, but it was not his first head coaching year.
It was the one before the Utes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh. I'm going to say... I don't know.
I'm going to guess somewhere in the MAC.
So Lou Holtz sent him for this interview, set it up, and famously he said He went for the interview, and Urban came back and said, they're not very good. And he said, son, if they were any good, they wouldn't be hiring you. It's Bowling Green.
It is, in fact, Bowling Green.
Yep. Okay,
Urban
so
Meyer
what's
went
Mac? Okay.
17-6 at Bowling Green in 2 years before going to Utah. Yeah. So, very good, Jason. All right, Coach Spurrier, the old ball coach. Where did he get his first head coaching job?
I got nothing.
I think y'all might be trying to overthink this. I think it's probably easier than you realize.
I'm going to say Florida.
Well, it's not that easy. But I do think a lot of people remember where he was before Florida.
Was it in the state of Florida?
It was not.
Did he go to South Carolina, go to Florida?
Well, maybe it's not as easy as I thought, because I remembered this one. South Carolina was after Florida and after the NFL.
Maybe it was there before, though. Somebody, a Gator fan sitting here, they're like, they're so stupid.
All right, I'll give you 4 choices. Virginia, Vanderbilt, Duke, or Wake Forest.
No, Duke.
It is Duke. I thought he might have been somewhere before Duke, but no, Duke was the first one. He had a great run at Duke before coming to Florida and changing the SEC. Now, because we have to do both of them, it's obligatory here on this show, where did Bear Bryant get his first head coaching job? We know Mama called and brought him home at Alabama, but that clearly was not his first head coaching job.
Tulane.
We know he was at A&M.
It was not at Tulane.
I want to say Marshall.
It was not at Marshall.
Wasn't Kentucky. He won the national title.
He was at Kentucky.
But that was
not his first.
We saw the Junction boys, so it couldn't be A&M. That was after Kentucky, wasn't it?
That was after. 1 year.
Coach Hale's just dying to call in right now.
They're currently in the Big Ten. They've not always been in the Big Ten.
Not Cal.
It's not Cal. A former Alabama coordinator is currently their head coach, unless they just fired him. I can't remember. More known for basketball than football.
USC.
No.
UCLA.
Well,
Why are we thinking West Coast?
Since I've given the conference, it's not West Coast. It's very East Coast.
Rutgers? No, that's not basketball.
Same idea.
UConn?
You don't think of this school being a Big Ten school, though.
Maryland?
Yes.
Okay.
Maryland.
University of Maryland. He was a Terrapin.
That's crazy.
Before he went to Kentucky.
Knew that.
1 year. 1945.
I just thought he coached in the South.
Hold on. Maryland's a Big Ten school?
Yeah.
Only
used to be an ACC school.
No, in football too.
Oh,
That's right.
I didn't.
His brother went there. They have actually good.
Yeah, Loxley went up there. Was a coach I was talking.
They got
about.
Under Armour money. They should be way better than what they are.
They absolutely should, and being in the Beltway. So.
Yeah.
Well, let's put a little pin in this for a second. Let's go to the phone lines. Mike is on the line. What's up, buddy?
Mike. Hey, did y'all finish the quiz yet?
We're working our way through it. We just got Bear Bryant figured out.
Yeah, Maryland, right?
That's right.
Yeah, okay. Pat Dye, Wyoming. Johnny Majors, Iowa State. Well, let's get ahead to something that's important.
Okay.
Yesterday, a guy I don't listen to that much because he's between he and Spurrier, they're the chief Tennessee turn coach. It's Paul Feinbaum.
I'm going to say.
But, yeah, he called Coach Saban, let me be respectful, he called Coach Nick Saban a puppet.
What is he?
And I was going to get. It's because of his testimony before Congress, which he apparently didn't read the Save College Sports Act or whatever it's called.
Right.
And he only cares about coaching power, and he doesn't care about things like revenue sharing and letting ESPN tell everybody what to do.
Mm-hmm.
But that's another issue. I want to tell you how you can make a Coach Saban voodoo doll.
Okay.
What you do, you go to. You have to tear up a good collectible, though. You get you a Robin doll, okay? Because he's short. He's got a red coat on. Maybe it's not the right kind of red. And he's got an R on his chest for Roll Tide. And then you paint his cape black for the devil. And then you can do to him anything you want to, especially make him look like an idiot.
Sounds like
I think I
DeBoer.
did. I've got magical powers. Do you believe that?
I do.
Is that what you're doing to Du Bois right now? They're about to tear him apart if you don't win this year.
He's great, man. Come on. It's like,
Vols fans think so.
Let me tell you what some Alabama fans told me. Famous. Of course, I graduated from Troy, so I'm pulling for I'm a Trojan guy. Anyway, this guy goes, we don't like Fulmer. This has been a minute. Like, we don't like Fulmer. We respected Coach Majors. I said, yeah, it's because he used to beat his butt all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
So wake up and smell that coffee, Anyway, I've had my say, but I wanted to ask Brian, who do you like in the Belmont?
I haven't really followed it as much. The Derby winner, I know, skipped the Preakness. So typically I like when the Derby winner skips the Preakness. I like him in the Belmont, but such a long shot to win the Derby. I haven't really looked at how deep is the field this year.
You want to go through it real quick?
Yeah, go through it real quick.
Okay,
I'll tell you
one, you have Vitruvian Man, 30-1. 2, you have Power Shift, 12-1. 3, you have Chief Wallaby, 3-1. Renegade, 2-1.
Yeah.
Ottenho, okay, 20-1. Growth Equity, 12-1. Commandment, 6-1. Emerging Market, 6-1. Golden Tempo, 9-2. So basically, Renegade and Golden Tempo and Commandment are the top.
Let me tell you something about this. Let me interject here. Here's the bad thing, and this kind of goes back to these stadium renovations and everything, and what's messed up. Now, Belmont Park is in like Suffolk County, way out on Long Island, and like 4 years ago, they said they would not hold the Belmont. Maybe it's 3. I don't know. Don't hold me to the facts.
Right.
But it's at Saratoga for like the 4th year in a row, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
it's definitely been there
a mile
a couple
and a
of
half.
years.
It's not a mile and a half like the Belmont. It's a mile and whatever the Derby was. A mile and three
a mile and 3/8. Yeah.
No,
that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Anyway, so the moral of the story is, don't bet on stuff you don't know about.
That's right.
And don't listen to people on the radio like Glenn Manley, who told us to take the over in the NCAA championship game.
That's right.
Y'all have a great weekend. Bye.
Thanks, Mikey.
See you,
Mike.
And that's actually sage advice, because if I didn't bet on things I didn't know about, well, I'd still lose. But whatever, it's what it is.
I was going to say, those are the ones I hit the most.
I'll tell you what I do know. J. Michael's Restaurant. Chris Fish is the special today. It
healthy.
is absolutely wonderful and healthy. But look, you can have any kind of meal you want down to the best seafood, the coldest beer, always available at J. Michael's Restaurant. TK Vandy, Roofing and Contracting. Kyle, tell us a little bit about what you got going on down there.
Yes, sir. We're a general contractor, specializes in roofing. We can help you out. Give us a shout. 866-9908. If you need, you get a little insurance letter, right? And they're knocking on the door about, hey, you need a new roof. It's getting close to the 20-year mark. Give us a shout. We can come by there, see if we can extend the life or walk you through the process of a roof replacement.
Yeah, don't wait until them
10%
threats.
discount if you tell us Coach Hale sent you.
Hey, all right. How much if I sent you?
10% discount.
I'll add
10% more.
Well, on that note, let's head to a break, and we'll finish up the coaching quiz here. Our guys they're getting better. We're getting into the flow here.
Yeah.
You're listening to the Coach James Hale Show, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Weather in the Panhandle never stops. Turn to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast.
We're up to the minute weather reports all day long.
A chance of thunderstorms and moderate rain.
In-depth storm coverage.
Hurricane Helene.
And breaking weather as it happens.
We do have a tropical storm warning.
ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
I just got another NBA offer from Hard Rock Bet.
A Hard Rock Bet promo at the Hard Rock Bet Party? That is so meta.
That's not meta. That's Meta World Peace. Meta. Tell them about Hard Rock Bet.
Hard Rock Bet has it all. Live odds for every NBA game, every player prop, same game parlays, you name it. It's the only place I play these days.
Okay, now that is meta.
Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Discover the new Kia. Stop by Bill Bird Kia today and test drive the all-new 2026 Kia, where comfort, safety, and technology come together like never before. Explore the new 2026 SUV family that moves you and drive away in a new 2026 Seltos, Sportage, or Sorento that are built to inspire every journey. Craving performance? Feel the thrill in the luxurious 2026 Kia K5 sedan, crafted for power, style, and you. And for innovation that sparks excitement, check out the 2026 all-electric Kia EV9, a modern masterpiece that's fast-charging, rugged, and roomy. Bill Bird Kia is the original 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. It's the peace of mind that you can trust. Visit us at 2435 East 15th Street, Panama City, or online at BillBirdKia.PanamaCity.com. Bill Bird Kia, your local community dealer. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for details.
Welcome to It's the Coach James Hale Show.
But I believe diversity is an old wooden ship that was used during the Civil War era.
Live from the J. Michael Studio on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back into the Coach James Hale Show. Brian Haddad sitting in for Coach Jason, Kyle, and James in here rocking down a Friday, and we are going to get back into our coaching quiz. Now, we've had 4. We've done okay. We've done all right. We're starting to hit our stride here. So let's go into the Big Ten. A legendary Big Ten coach, although Jason probably won't care that much for this fella. Well, he'll respect him. Where did Bo Schembechler get his first head coaching job?
Head coaching.
Head coaching job. I can tell you it was not at Michigan.
No. I'm going to say Western Michigan.
That is incorrect.
Okay.
Somewhere in the upper Midwest.
That is correct.
Okay.
But that's a general area. I'm going to need a little more specific.
I'm going to say United States.
Somewhere on planet Earth.
So, MAC Conference?
Very possibly. I believe so. But they move conferences so much now, I never know. Like all
I want to
teams.
sit here and just, guess and be...
Sure.
No, that's the fun of it. I'm enjoying this.
I think we need some multiple choices.
All right.
Yeah, this was...
So, is it Ohio University, Ball State, Miami of Ohio, or Northwestern?
Northwestern.
That is incorrect.
I'm going to go Miami, Ohio.
Yeah, Miami, Ohio is considered the cradle of coaches. So.
It is indeed Miami of Ohio. State of Ohio, you let Bo Schembechler ply his trade and then let him go across the state line.
That's called an apprenticeship.
40-17 at Miami of Ohio.
If you Google the past coaches that started as an assistant or head coach at Miami, Ohio, I mean, you're talking like 10 Hall of Famers.
Yeah,
it's insane.
absolutely.
And they grew up all within like a 150-mile radius. I don't know what's in the water there, but even Nick Saban coached there as an assistant at some point in time. But Woody Hayes. I mean,
well, they all got duped. They thought they were going to South Beach.
Right, exactly.
I got hired by Miami.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you talked about him earlier in reference to Urban Meyer. Where did Lou Holtz get his first head coaching job? And this is tough because he's coached a lot of places. I actually knew this one, though. It was like Alex Trebek. It's easy when you have the card in front of you, but I did know this one. This one's difficult, I will say, although he's talked about it several times.
He's been at Arkansas, South Carolina, but I don't think that's
not
early career. Yeah,
somewhere in Indiana.
It is not. It is somewhere that is terribly, terribly historic to the founding of the United States.
Georgetown?
No, but
Gettysburg.
Right idea. Not Gettysburg. That would have been later in the United States. They make a lot of money off of tours of the colonial area. It's in Virginia, I believe.
William and Mary?
That is correct. William and Mary. I've actually been there.
Good job, James.
Visiting Colonial Williamsburg. He was hired at William and Mary in 1969. Went 13-20 over 3
I had an
seasons.
assist with that, by the way.
Yeah,
That's correct.
We'll give him a half point.
His old rival in the Catholics versus Convicts game, Jimmy Johnson, the hairdo. Where did he get his first head coaching gig?
I know where he played college football and won a national championship.
That
People
is-
would be shocked about that because he played
Yes.
with Jerry
Jones. They did not. I'll give
at
you a hint.
Arkansas.
He did not coach there.
Okay.
Yeah. But
That
is
was gonna
correct.
be my
he did go
guess.
to Arkansas.
I don't know this one either. I'm too young for this stuff.
Like a few months younger than me.
I know. I'm just throwing it out.
All right.
Is it in Texas?
But very close to
Oh,
Texas.
okay.
Slightly north of Texas. I'll give you this. It's where he was before Miami.
Tulsa?
Same state, not Tulsa.
State.
Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State.
He was a man. He was 40, but he did. He was there from 1979 to 1983 before he took the Miami job. So Oklahoma State. Now, where did Coach Hale's favorite, Mac Brown, get his first head coaching job? This one I did not know.
North Carolina.
Correct state, actually, but not North Carolina. And he coached twice at North Carolina, famously.
Was it D1?
Yes, but probably wasn't then.
Who are you thinking? Like
It's a school that's become pretty well known. It's another one that's a launching pad for coaches and has had some tremendous upsets in their history.
Appalachia State?
Appalachian
Nice.
State.
Oh,
I did not know that because I knew he went to Tulane, and so
Yeah.
I thought that's what it was, but he was at Appalachian State 1 year before he went to Tulane. So
They were involved in one of the most embarrassing losses in college football history when they beat the M Wolverines.
yeah, one of the best days in Columbus.
What, do you not
Ohio.
say their name like it's
Look,
Voldemort?
No, not at all.
That's like, so famously NCAA basketball tournament, I want to say it was like 98 maybe. Ole Miss had a really good team, and Valparaiso and Bryce Drew beat them on a buzzer shot. There were more Valparaiso hats and shirts sold in Starkville, Mississippi than anywhere in the country, including Valparaiso.
Yeah.
So Frank Beamer,
Celebrated that one.
Virginia Tech legend. He did not start his head coaching career at Virginia Tech. Where did he start his head coaching gig? This is going to be a tough one.
Was it in the state of Virginia?
No.
Okay.
I don't know. It's not. It's close to Virginia, but it's not in Virginia. I'll give you this hint. It's not going to help a lot. It's in the state of Kentucky.
So it's not Louisville or Kentucky?
It is not.
Okay. That's like places in Kentucky I would
This will be, you've heard of this school, but not for any real football.
Would we know they're
prowess.
actually from Kentucky if we knew the name?
50-50.
Okay.
In fact,
I'm
I'm going out on a slight
Right.
limb by saying definitively it's
I'm
in
out.
Kentucky.
Transylvania.
No, good guess though.
Lindsey Wilson.
Murray State.
All right, yeah, Murray
is-
State's
I
out
wouldn't
there.
know
There
that
we
was
go. Yeah,
good.
Murray
I
State.
thought they were in Tennessee,
81 to
to be
86, then went to.
Yeah.
I didn't know
Ohio
they had a
Valley.
football program. I know they are good in basketball.
Here's one currently still coaching. I think he's the dean of college football coaches now. Kirk Ferentz at Iowa. I did not know he had been anywhere other than Iowa, but he did start his head coaching career. I will say this. This probably won't help you guys, but this school famously has a victory not all that long ago against Mississippi State, which was the true bag over my head moment in my. And look, State's lost to some bad teams. This
Yeah.
is the worst one to me.
That was, what, about 10 years ago?
It's a little longer than that. but
Okay.
yeah.
It's got to be a 1AA school.
And I actually believe their mascot, is the Bulldogs as well. I'll give you this. It's the name of a state.
Minnesota Duluth.
No, all it
Montana.
is the name of a state. It's not Montana, but you're starting with the correct letter.
And we're going Bulldogs.
South Dakota.
Well, that's not an M, but
Dakota.
Mid Dakota.
Is it
It is unbelievably northeastern.
Maine?
Maine?
University of Maine, and I
Wow.
do believe they are the Bulldogs. Kirk Ferentz was the head coach there from 1990 to 1992 before going to the NFL and then eventually taking over at Iowa in 1999, which is where he still coaches.
Great coach.
So, we did
Terrible
okay.
recruiter.
We did okay.
Yeah.
We did all right. Some of those were
Those are for
brutally
old people
tough.
like Coach Hale.
But I do think it's interesting, to think about that. I guess it makes sense that, you would be an assistant somewhere, you would go get a head coaching job somewhere to kind of prove you could run the executive, and then you get that. Whereas nowadays it seems like a lot of coordinators are just advanced and things like that. And I think actually having gone off and coached even at a smaller school where you have to be the executive, I think is really important in that job.
I think I have more knowledge of where they started as assistants, because you always hear where Saban started. He was on the Ohio State staff for a couple, like 1 or 2 years. Where Urban started, he was on the Notre Dame staff. That's why him and Lou Holtz know each other very well. So, but the head coaching jobs, those first coaching jobs, are so obscure where they get them, and you got to work your way up. You got to prove yourself. So they're not the most well-known schools in the country either.
Yeah, no, absolutely right.
Maine is the Black Bears.
Are they?
Yep, yeah. Black Bears.
That's what threw me off. I had it.
I want to say they were. Yeah, there it is. I really thought they were the Bulldogs as well.
See,
that's weird.
I was thinking Georgia after you said that, but it threw me off.
Well, when Ole Miss flirted with going to Black Bears, I just erased Black Bears from my brain. So that's what it was.
I wouldn't have got it anyway.
Yeah. God almighty, I watched that game. I don't think I watched a state game for 2 years after that.
Oh, really?
It was right after I left, so I think it was 99-ish, somewhere in there, but 2000, 2001.
They had a good run under Mullen, but I thought Leach was going to be the guy for a little while, but that didn't play out too well for him.
No, and by the way, Mike Leach is actually on the ballot for College Football Hall of Fame.
As he
also, Jackie Sherrill on that ballot, who I also think should be in there. I don't think he's going to make it because of some long-held, disagreements
politics
with everyone. But I loved Coach Sherrill, and I think he's very overlooked in his importance to Mississippi State and what he did.
Bill Belichick wasn't on the ballot for the Hall of Fame, NFL Hall of Fame?
Or he did. Well, he didn't make the final.
He didn't make the final.
Right. That's correct.
Isn't that insane?
Absolutely.
That's very
There's
petty.
a lot of writers that have axe to grind with him because he wasn't very media friendly. But to me, that shows you're not very professional as a media member if you're leaving the greatest coach.
100%. Like, look at the body of work. How about that?
Well, I'll tell you who is professional. When we get out to Lynn Haven, we got jewelry. We got to make sure the missus is happy. We're going to go see David Adamson Fine Jewelry. They can repair your old jewelry. They can custom build you a new piece. They can even buy your old gold and silver if you want. David Adamson Fine Jewelry. Steve's Bike Shop. They're on 23rd. My buddy Steve Burdishaw, been in business since 1979. Right across the street from Sam's. He's also the head swim coach out at Mosley High School. But if you want regular bike, you want one of those new electric bikes, get your bike fixed, anything like that, go out and see Steve at Steve's Bike Shop. And James, something happens with a boat, it breaks down. We don't want to have to lug that thing all the way to this costly marina and have to deal with everything like that. Who are we going to call?
Nope. We got the perfect solution right here in the Panhandle. We have Florida Main Marine. Florida Main Marine, they come to you. You don't go to them. You don't got to load the boat up. You don't got to drive the truck over there. You don't got to detach everything. No, you call him. He comes to you. Driveway, on the water. He doesn't care. He'll fix it for you. Give him a call, 850-851-4134.
So come on and help fix me up, Florida
Jermaine
Main.
Allen. He played for Coach Hale.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, we
he
won't
was a
hold that against
linebacker
him.
at Arnold 2000, class of 2001.
Very cool. A little younger than us, Jason.
Yeah.
There you go.
Way younger.
When we come back, more from the college football world. We're going to talk a little FSU on the Coach James Hale Show.
FSU?
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Are you tired of little radio stations with little signals that drop off at the edge of town?
She did say,
Oh, bless their hearts. This is the most powerful sports signal in the Panhandle. You found the Sports Talk Monster. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Anna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Friday. Mostly sunny this afternoon and evening with a moderate breeze out of the south-southeast around 16 miles per hour and temps near 87. Tonight we will have mostly clear skies and a wind speed of 6 miles per hour and be warm at 72. Partly sunny tomorrow and a high 86 with a gentle breeze. Some clouds Sunday with a temp of 87. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Lone Star Boil House and Sports Bar, where the locals go for the best boiled seafood around. Crawfish, shrimp, red royals, and everything crabs. Watch almost every sporting event in the country on their huge outdoor jumbotron. Follow them on Facebook to stay up to date on weekly events, live music, and food and beer specials. Lone Star Boil House and Sports Bar, your home away from home for sports, good times, and great food. The best boiled seafood. Lone Star Boil House and Sports Bar, 320 West 5th Street, downtown Panama City.
Experience a higher level of service. David Adamson Designer Jewelry has been providing you the very best of fine jewelry and repair in Lynn Haven for over 32 years. David has added Amber Anderson and Russ Klinger, names you've known and trusted in PCB for years with your fine jewelry and watch needs. Find that one-of-a-kind engagement ring, that special anniversary gift, or something colorful just for you. Amber and Russ will find it or build it for you. Serving Bay County and beyond in Lynn Haven at the corner of Ohio Avenue and 9th. David Adamson Designer Jewelry.
Now back to the most dangerous radio show in the Gulf Coast. Coach James Hale. He's so dangerous, he doesn't even check his eggs at the grocery store.
Danger's my middle name.
I'm bad to the bone, honey.
2 tickets to the gun show.
We're live from the J. Michaels studio on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hey! Florida State, Florida State, Florida State. Woo! FSU update brought to you here on the Coach James Hale Show by Newbies. Boy, they're gearing up for a big, big summer here. You want to see the best bands in the Southeast, you go to the mothership down there. You want to watch all the college baseball action this weekend, you get to Newbies 2 on the Curve. You want to have a great party, reunion, you go to the Brew and Booze. And if you want to see Glenn Manley act a fool, go to the new one down there in St. Andrews.
Yeah.
Or really
buy him
anywhere.
a school bus.
Yeah, there you go. But
well, I mean, he is he's the band this weekend. It's Glenn Manley and his Manly Men.
There we go. So, but definitely get out to all of the Newbies locations down here. You will have a wonderful time no matter which one you go to. And look, John and Charlotte, we know them, we love them. All they do for the community, all they do for us to have a great time down here in Paradise. Newbies, get out there tonight. Not a whole lot going on at FSU, unfortunately. We had hoped we'd be talking about possibly a NCAA softball College World Series run. That didn't come to pass. We had hoped we'd be talking about FSU going up to Tuscaloosa and Coach Hale going to watch that series in the Super Regional. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, so not a lot going on. Probably the one who doesn't want to see that the most is Mike Norvell, because now it means even more of the focus is going on to football going into the summer. But there is some good news when it comes to Florida State baseball. FSU junior right-handed reliever John Abraham has been named a finalist for Stopper of the Year by the National Collegiate Baseball Writers Association. He is the second FSU player to be recognized as a finalist for this award since its inception about 20 years ago. He's the first since 2012 when, I'm going to butcher this name, FSU fans, so Kyle, you may need to help me here. Robert Benincasa was a finalist, so sounds good, right?
I think so, yeah.
All right, very good. Anyway, that was that. So that is good. And look, FSU has produced, great players that have gone on to the bigs. And it just, what was it, was it last year or 2 years ago? Jamie Arnold was first. I think it was last year, actually. It was a first-round draft pick. So John Abraham has good things in front of him. Hopefully he can pull down this award. And he was also third-team ACC this year as well as a Tampa native. So congratulations to him, and hopefully he can go forward with that award. Really, the only other things out there were golf-related, where we had Sophia Fulbrook was named second-team All-American this year by the Women's Golf Coaches Association. Of course, FSU has built quite a women's golf program there over the years, and reloading has been difficult, but Fulbrook making second-team All-American was good. And then Jack Whaley, FSU junior, made it to the stroke play NCAA championships this past weekend, which were won by Auburn. We'll talk about that more later. Congratulations to there. But Jack Whaley ended up, I believe, 14th at the NCAA championships individually. So pretty cool.
Do you think Florida State could go over 500 this year in football?
I think that's the over/under.
I think that's where we both have them, either 5 and 7.
Because
or
I'm looking at
6.
I'm looking at the schedule right now, and I mean,
depending on if there's a couple games that are like toss-ups that I'm like,
yeah.
The problem is the toss-up games are Cal and not like Miami, Florida.
Well, let's real quick hit over to the phone line. James, I've already forgotten there. Who do we have on the line?
We have the Florida Maine with us.
Yay! Florida Maine. What's up, buddy?
Allen.
Not much. Nothing much to say. Good morning. I heard you say you needed some work, so I'll give me a call to see if you want to schedule.
Come on, man. Let's go.
Yeah, Brian does need his yacht worked on.
Well,
So Jermaine,
almost got myself in trouble.
Hey, so Jermaine, they just give you a call, and your company's a mobile mechanic, so you can just pull right up to the dock, to the driveway, wherever they have the boat. Even go to dry dock storage and work on it. Is that how it works?
Yeah, absolutely. Whenever they call, just give me a call, and what we'll do is we'll get your PID number, which is basically like your VIN number for your boat, and I can look up your engine model and make, and then that way I know all the absolute specifications for that, and we can pull parts and get the service done.
Absolutely.
What a great service, though, because so much of the hassle in doing all that is getting the boat down there and then, having to deal with everything at the thing. The fact that you can literally call you and you can come out and help fix it. I mean, you can just kick back in the recliner and just let you do all the work, right?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. And that's what we strive to do, is just to make it a hassle-free service to where whenever you get ready to get it on the water, get it out, get it serviced, and be ready to go as quickly as possible, and not have such a wait, because I know the dealerships do get backed up, and some people just don't want to load it up and take it. Some people don't want the dealership price tag, so we come to you.
And you do any kind of boat, right? So it can be like an inboard motor or an onboard motor or anything like that.
Typically, we like to stick to outboards, but depending on what the service may be, inboards we would be willing to look at as well.
Very cool. Now, Kyle tells me you played for Coach Hale. You got any good stories? He's not here to defend himself today. You got any good stories on him you can tell us? That are clean for radio, at least?
Not this morning.
Smart man.
Plead the fifth.
Yes, sir. And I'm actually pulled up to a service call right now. I just want to give you all a shout and say thank you for just mentioning me on air, and anybody that needs service, give us a call at 850-851-4134. Florida, Maine. What's happening?
Absolutely right, Jermaine. Thanks for
thanks,
the call,
Jermaine.
man.
Jermaine.
Florida, Maine. I love it.
Florida, Maine.
Kyle, give me a call. I lost your number. Give me a call, Kyle.
Yes, sir. We'll do.
There we go.
All right, thanks. Have a great day, y'all.
All right. Bye.
The Florida Maine himself calling in. I love it. I love it. We'll have to
So
squeeze a good Hale
he
story out of him.
he played in that inaugural class with like Thomas Ray and Alex Shore and Byron Hansen and all those guys when they left to go from Bay High out there, and they had a really good.
No comment.
Jason's still wearing his loyalty count shirt over there.
I'm Bay High till I die.
There you go. There you go.
But I do love Mosley and Arnold and all the high school schools. And I want to see all of them win.
Oh, by the way, I
except when
wanted
they
to
play
bring
back.
up, so you know how y'all were talking about with like the strength training and things like that. There are a couple of programs that are heavily focusing on this summer. I mean, Bay High built a sandbox in the practice field, and you want to talk about like agility wise for the linemen and doing everything like that's. I really think that sandbox right there helped Jeremy's like O-line significantly this year.
Me and Jeremy have been in contact quite a bit through the last probably 2 years, because they've implemented some strength training that they really embrace. They've had guys 10 or more break PR records. They got 5 or 6 guys benching over 365.
Yeah, Hayden just benched 365.
They have like 10 guys just cleaning over 285. I mean, they've embraced the weight room, and I think that's what we saw last year. Because remember, Mosley kind of out physicaled them a little bit early, about 2 years ago. Last year, you saw the fourth quarter, because Mosley came up, kind of tied the game at halftime, but that third and fourth quarter, Bay High was able to put the foot on the gas pedal and was able to kind of extend their lead out and kind of win that game. And they won some games late last year just because their offensive line was a little bit more physical. So
and I think Mosley definitely recognized that. Coach Witten, he's very analytical. He's recognized that because they've actually brought in a strength coach.
Yeah,
that's all he focuses on.
You see what happens when you get smart people involved, though, because the sandbox is now used to actually help your agility. We all know the lower leg strength that you need to go out and run on the beach and do things like that. Whereas, when I was playing the sandbox, where you went to settle a fight.
Right.
Yeah.
Coach, you two go out there. Whoever comes back will play.
Well, the agility portion of the sandbox strengthens the smaller muscles that you don't typically work on in a standard workout.
The fast twitch.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that's what plyos, jumping boxes.
And it prevents injury for you
For
while
sure.
you're in the game.
Well, when Urban was at Ohio State, they had a sandbox, but if you were injured, not hurt, they would stick you in the sandbox and just have you a 45-pound weight, and you would dig sand the entire practice, and they would find out if you were hurt, because you would not want to do that versus practice. And then some guys are like, I think I could practice today.
Yeah. I for years in swimming, and without getting too technical, one of the events, breaststroke, and it actually requires lateral foot movement versus vertical. And I was we had a run of breaststrokers for years, and people always ask, how do you have that? And I'm 100% convinced kids growing up on beach sand helps, because as you put your feet down, it actually turns them laterally. Right. So I don't know.
Makes sense.
If I knew it for sure, I'd still be doing it and making a lot more money than I am. But no, I do think that was part of it. But that was the FSU update, or at least part of it. Thanks to Newbies for sponsoring that. I do want to talk about some more of our great sponsors here. Turf Pro Pest Control, Patrick Garner and the crew will get your lawn looking absolutely wonderful this summer. And like I always say, be the talk of the neighborhood for all the right reasons. Call Patrick and the crew at Turf Pro Pest Control. Dr. John Ward, he'll love being mentioned during the FSU update. He is a very proud Gator, but look, skin cancer is a problem. 1 in 5 will develop it in their lifetimes, and the best way that you can avoid that is by regular and often screenings. And if you're listening to us right now, Dermatology Specialist has a location near you. They have 8 convenient area locations. That is Dr. John Ward and Dermatology Specialist. And don't forget about Pepper's Mexican Grill. You want a great Mexican meal tonight. We always had to drive over into town, go out to 77. But if you're out on the beach, we now have one on the beach over there by Arnold High School in the old TGI Fridays building, and they do a wonderful job. Great specials, great margaritas, and a great time will be had by all at Pepper's Mexican Grill. When we come back, we're going to talk to Jeff Spiegel about the Alabama Crimson Tide. You're listening to the Coach James Hale Show, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Wake up with ESPN Northwest Florida. The Coach James Hale Show drags you out of bed weekdays 7 to 9.
They're going to allow beer sold at the new sports complex, yet we can't have a cold beer on the beach.
Yeah. Then for the ride home, the fastest 2 hours on radio. The Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson.
You better hope you're ready.
Morning drive and the afternoon commute are live and local on the Gulf Coast. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Anna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Friday. Mostly sunny this afternoon and evening with a moderate breeze out of the south-southeast around 16 miles per hour and temps near 87. Tonight we will have mostly clear skies and a wind speed of 6 miles per hour and be warm at 72. Partly sunny tomorrow and a high 86 with a gentle breeze. Some clouds Sunday with a temp of 87. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
To get your boat running today without the dealership wait, it's Florida Main's Marine Service and Consulting. No more hauling the boat to the dealership. For a faster, smoother, and hassle-free boat service, they come to the dock or the driveway. Florida Main's Marine Service and Consulting. From Santa Rosa to Panama City to Apalachicola. Quick response to inquiries and competitive rates. Get your boat running today. Call Florida Main's Marine Service and Consulting. 850-851-4134. 850-851-4134.
WGSX New Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe, ESPN Northwest Florida.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
Now,
it's the Coach James Hale Show.
Go nuts.
Live from the J. Michael Studio at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hey, Stand up, Jason. Put your hand over your heart. Face Nick Saban and sing proudly, sing loudly.
This is the one time you'll never see me like join in with Coach Hale and be happy. I love they gave DeBoer a $1,500 million 30-year contract because they're going to have to buy him out in about 2 years.
Quiet down. I didn't get to hear this song a lot at the end of last year.
All right, go ahead.
And now it's over.
And you're not going to hear
the
it
Alabama
this year
update is brought to you by Steverson Air Conditioning. Now, we love Steverson Air Conditioning. Look,
get those capacitors checked, people.
Oh, my gosh.
It's summertime.
Look, it's starting to heat up. We know that. And don't wait any longer. Get them to come out. Make sure that your unit is running exactly like it needs to for the dog days of summer. Steverson Air Conditioning. Go smart. Go local.
It's going to be a hot summer, too.
Steverson Air Conditioning. And on Fridays, we love the Alabama update even more than we do every other week as these two guys turn up their noses. But we get to talk to the man, the myth, the legend himself, Birmingham 3340 ABC's own Jeff Spiegel. Jeff, how are you doing this morning?
Hey, that's good. Where did that term dog days of summer come from? And why can't we give the cats any love? Can we give the cats?
I don't know. I mean, I've seen Dog Day Afternoon, but I can't imagine it's the same.
Came from the Georgia DMV.
Well, Jeff, getting slated for a big baseball weekend across the state. We got 3 super regionals happening in the state of Alabama this weekend. Before we get into Alabama and St. John's tomorrow night, what are your overall thoughts on Troy hosting? I mean, they'll be getting going here later today.
Well, it's pretty amazing. I mean, that story and the job that Skylar Meade has done over there. And this isn't a team that's, flown under the radar.
That's right.
I mean, they were ranked 14th in the country last year at one point. So, they've been coming, for a little while. And, to go in and do what they did, to lose the first game. I mean, everybody talks about what Auburn did, and what Auburn did was great. But what Troy did, I think, was even more amazing. Going into Gainesville, losing the opener to Miami, and then coming back and, winning a rematch against Miami, and then winning 4 straight games and beating Florida twice on their home field. I mean, it was incredible what they did. So it's going to be electric at Riddle Pace Field this weekend. It's just going to be, at 4 o'clock you need to tune in. If you want to see some great atmosphere and a great spectacle and what college baseball is all about, then you need to tune in there.
And not to be outdone in the story department, Little Rock coming in to play that as a 4 seed. We actually had 2 4 seeds go through this year. They're going to be crazy hype about this, and that's not – it's not next door, but it's not
like the 2 Cinderellas. Right?
Yeah, and it's not an unreasonable travel trip. I imagine they're going to have quite a few people there as well.
Yeah, it's the battle for of the Trojans, no doubt about it.
That's right.
It's going to be great. I mean, to me, this is what makes the college baseball tournament, as much fun, if not more fun, than the basketball tournament to me. Because, you've got a situation here in a Sweet 16 where you've got, a matchup like this, and they're not blue bloods, but, man, they can play some baseball, and it's going to be fun to watch.
Imagine going in there thinking Troy's going to get a home field at the regional.
Oh, yeah. It's unreal.
Talking about striking gold,
so,
man.
Speaking of that, and Jeff, look, I am wearing my Mississippi State shirt today. We've won 1 national championship in 150 years. I'm going to wear the shirt out until it falls apart. But it's impossible not to come at this from the position of Mississippi State's having to go to Georgia and not host while Troy is hosting. But what are your thoughts overall on the fact that they don't reseed? Look, everybody, myself included, agrees it's really cool that Troy's getting to host a super regional, but should they?
Well, to me, it all comes down to, and I don't know how they determine that, but to me, I think it's probably the higher seed, gets the opportunity. And number one, the NCAA looks at, what can you host? Do you have the facility that will allow you to host a regional and do this? And is it good for TV? and all that stuff. And all these stadiums are great now. All of them look fantastic on TV. And Troy's done so much, with their programs. So, to me, when they looked at that, it was like, well, who's the higher seed here? But certainly Troy's deserving.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know what would have happened had Jack State won that regional, and then it would have been, I don't know if there would have been a bidding war between Jack State and Troy to see who got to host, or whether it'd go, to the higher seed or what. But it's just been a joy to watch this tournament.
Yeah. Well, let's jump over to Tuscaloosa then. Let's talk about Alabama. So Alabama baseball the last several years has been a case of getting off to a hot start and maybe kind of fading toward the end of the year. This group has really kept it together all year. They got to a top 8 seed, got to host their regional, and really kind of walked through their regional pretty well. Bit of a surprise. I think a lot of people were looking at a potential matchup with Florida State. I know certainly a lot of listeners down here were hoping for that, but
wah, wah, wah.
Yeah. But the other 4 seed that makes it through in kind of a shocker, St. John's, the Fighting Rick Pitino's coming south again to play against Alabama. What are we looking at in
bunch
this
of
series?
Yankees?
Well, I thought this was a basketball school. I didn't even know the Johnnies played baseball. And, it's St. Mary's, another team that put UCLA in the elimination bracket. Who knew that the Gales were so good at baseball?
Yeah.
But no, I mean, look, if Alabama fans would have the gall to overlook St. John's, you can't overlook anybody that goes into another person's stadium and takes the regional title away from them. I mean, you can't. Yeah, and that's why you can't overlook Little Rock in this tournament. You can't overlook Troy. You can't say, well, this is it for them. They're not going to go much further than, if they make it to Omaha, they're going to get put out in the first. They're going to be 2 and done. I mean, you can't say that, because these teams are playing with so much confidence now. They feel like they can beat anybody, so they're not intimidated when they come to Alabama. They're relishing the moment, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think people better take them seriously. Baseball is a streaky sport. You can get a pitcher to get in a groove. You can get a couple of hitters that are just seeing the ball really well. It doesn't matter if you lost 5 in a row. You can roll off 10, 15 in a row, too. We see it in Major League Baseball a lot. So baseball is just a different animal with so many moving parts. But, if you get a hot pitcher that can hold
Especially
a team to 3 runs and a couple guys with the bat. And St. John's, to me, was the most impressive because they swept that regional. Some of them games weren't even close. Beating Florida State in Tallahassee like that.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to watch out for teams like that. They're kind of like the Cal State Fullertons that made it and won the national title. You got to take every team now seriously, like it's like the New York Yankees. So I think Alabama's probably going to win this one just because I think this is a very talented team. But this is one that would make me a little nervous if I was a Roll Tide fan.
Well, I remember last year when, Auburn was riding high and Coastal Carolina came to town.
Yeah.
And Coastal Carolina, I mean, this is a totally different story than St. John's, because Coastal Carolina had already won a national championship. So there was some respect there. But they came in and, took 2 from Auburn. And you make a good point about, that first game. Look at what Milwaukee did to Auburn in that first game. Kind of gave them a little wake-up call. A couple of 3-run homers, and all of a sudden Auburn's down 10-0.
Yeah.
And, that's the nightmare scenario when you go into, a game 1 situation in these tournaments like that.
But I think that will help Auburn, because when you got that stress and anxiety and you're one, game 1 bad inning away from, being out of the tournament altogether, they put it together. They came back. I mean, that first game was ugly. So that shows a little, integrity, shows a little fight with them. And I think that's going to help them down the road. What's your thought on how that series played out and how they came back?
Yeah, I think that's a really good point, and I think it did serve as a wake up call for them, because to take everybody seriously, and certainly winning 4 in a row like that, the fan base get behind them, and Plainsman Park's going to be packed, just like the Joe is going to be packed, tomorrow night, and the home field advantage, is huge to a certain degree. But I don't know if it's as big a factor in baseball as it is maybe in football or even basketball, because, it all comes down to, what pitches you make, swinging the bats, and you can pretty much road teams come in and shock home teams in super regionals every year. Yeah. You see it, and last year was a good example, Coastal Carolina knocking off Auburn.
One of the things I think is so critical about, I think you're right, I don't think it's as big a home field advantage per se in the play, but in the recruiting aspect, I do think it's huge, because the one thing college baseball has in spades over minor league baseball, especially when you get to tournament time, is atmosphere and excitement. Sure. And certainly, in the South, I mean, it's just unbelievable. And Auburn, Alabama, Troy all have the opportunity to put on shows for these recruits who, look, a lot of times, maybe not so much in the SEC, but a lot of times you go to a recruiting weekend during the season or something like that, you might see, 1,000, 1,500 people in the stands, when you should have 7,000, 8,000 like that. When it comes tournament time and super regional, it's going to be a packed house. It's going to be nuts. And those are the kind of things that are just really that last step when you're trying to recruit in not just high school kids, but the transfer players, right?
Yeah, let's talk about how good Greg Byrne is at hiring people. Mm-hmm. He went incognito up to Maryland and scouted out Rob Vaughn. And,
yep.
Saw him work, saw him coach the Terps, and said, hey, this is the guy we need to bring in. And no one here had ever heard of him.
Yep.
No one knew what Maryland was doing, up there in baseball. So he comes in and, in his third year, he's got them where Greg Byrne wanted him to take them, and that is hosting a super regional for the first time in 20 years. And Vaughn has said it in press conferences before, earlier this week, that, we don't want this to be like, hey, Alabama's hosting a super regional. This is amazing. This hasn't been done since ... He wants it to be like, well, here we are. We're hosting a super regional again. This is the way it's supposed to be. So that was the idea when Greg went up there and, put the hat on and the dark sunglasses and scouted out Rob Vaughn, and it was an amazing hire, as it turns out.
Sounds like the Nate Oates hire a little bit.
Yeah.
It does, yeah.
Jeff, it's an interesting point, because I just realized in you bringing that up, we're not even 3 full years removed, I guess, from an Alabama baseball head coach basically selling out his team to make money on a bet in Ohio.
Betting from the dugout.
Yeah. That's unbelievable.
Oh, well, and it's great that they can put that behind them so quickly, because some programs will be scarred for life after something like that.
Absolutely
happens.
right. Well, Jeff, we got to get to a break here. Hang on with us through the break. We're going to bounce over to the Plains and talk about their regional. They're also celebrating a national championship we're going to talk about, so we're going to get into that more with Jeff Spiegel, Birmingham 3340. When we come back from the break here, you are listening to the Coach James Hale Show, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Keep the game going with ESPN Northwest Florida. Just because you get out of the car doesn't mean the sports talk and live play-by-play have to end. Just say, hey, Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida. From Michigan Avenue to the man cave, from the car to the kitchen, we've got you covered. Keep the game going. Hey, Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Anna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Friday. Mostly sunny this afternoon and evening with a moderate breeze out of the south-southeast around 16 miles per hour and temps near 87. Tonight we will have mostly clear skies and a wind speed of 6 miles per hour and be warm at 72. Partly sunny tomorrow and a high 86 with a gentle breeze. Some clouds Sunday with a temp of 87. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Lone Star Boil House and Sports Bar, where the locals go for the best boiled seafood around. Crawfish, shrimp, red royals, and everything crabs. Watch almost every sporting event in the country on their huge outdoor jumbotron. Follow them on Facebook to stay up to date on weekly events, live music, and food and beer specials. Lone Star Boil House and Sports Bar, your home away from home for sports, good times, and great food. The best boiled seafood. Lone Star Boil House and Sports Bar, 320 West 5th Street, downtown Panama City.
Signworks, a business serving businesses since 1985. Everything from signs and banners, vehicles and boats, magnetic and real estate signs, contractor signs, and much more. Signworks can do large format, full color printing too. Signworks, a real professional in the business world. Call Signworks at 785-8899. Signworks, 850-785-8899.
When he played football, helmets had not been invented yet. Players played both sides, and quarterbacks weren't afraid of needles. It's the Coach James Hale Show, live from the J. Michaels Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
War Eagle! Hey! Auburn update brought to you by Beef O'Brady's out in Lynn Haven. Pat Perno and the crew do a wonderful, wonderful job. They got TVs everywhere. They got great staff, and you know the great food they have. Get out there and watch some college baseball today. In fact, you can watch the Auburn Tigers tonight at Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven. Well, let's talk about that, Jeff. Auburn, like, you know, we talked about a little bit in the last segment, you know, they have the difficult task because a high percentage of teams that lose their first game in a regional do not advance through. Auburn turned it on, got on fire, ended up winning that, and their reward for that is they get an SEC opponent coming to town for a super regional. But ironically, this is an SEC opponent in Ole Miss they have not faced this year. So what are we looking for when we get first pitch tonight there at Plainsman Park?
Well, you're looking at an Ole Miss team that is, you know, very experienced, you know, in postseason play. You know, it wasn't too long ago, you know, they won a national championship. In fact, I have a friend who's a Mississippi State fan who said, you know what, you know, we won ours, and then, oh my God, the next year Ole Miss wins.
It was miserable.
How unfair is that?
It was miserable, Jeff. I wanted at least 2 or 3 years of bragging rights.
Exactly. But Bianco's just done it. He's done an amazing job there, and he's got a good team. And here's another case where, you know, a team is shipped out to Lincoln, and they come out and they win that regional. And so you have to tip your hat, you know, to Ole Miss, and they give them a lot of respect. But I personally, I don't see anything slowing Auburn down this weekend. I mean, I think the wake up call was delivered. It was responded to. I think Chase Freelich has taken this team like on his back and just done an amazing job. This guy, not only is he handling the #1 pitching staff in America, you know, from an ERA standpoint, but he's knocking the freaking cover off the baseball.
Yep.
He's had 2 5-game homer streaks this year, and he's the only guy who's done that this decade in D1 baseball.
Wow.
And this is a catcher. And, you know, and you're talking about, you know, catchers, you don't really expect them to be, you know, Johnny Bench made over, you know, knocking the cover off the ball. You expect
Mike
them
Piazza.
Yeah, exactly. So, but they catch, and he's just done an amazing job.
I'm starting to think it's a thing in Auburn, though, because to be honest, they're the team I remember preseason we're kind of going through, and I liked Texas. I thought Mississippi State would be better. I didn't think they would come on as quick as they did. I didn't really see Georgia, but a lot of people didn't. I don't feel bad about that. But the Auburn team was the biggest mystery to me because I thought Ike Irish was such a big part of that team. Ironically enough, a catcher as well. And I didn't really see the development of this pitching staff. But Auburn, has been every bit as good as any team in the conference. Certainly the second half of the year, but
and they're all sophomores. All
but
the
yeah,
aces.
I mean, were a lot of people like in Birmingham and Auburn, where they're quietly saying this could be a really good team, or were they like me, where they didn't really know what to expect this year?
Well, I think they knew there was some. I think they knew there was some talent there,
Yeah.
but I mean, no one could look in February and go, "Wow, this Ethan Bingaman guy is going to be amazing."
Yeah.
No one really. He wasn't on anyone's radar. In terms of coming on and having the year like he did, and he wound up being second team All SEC, All Freshman. He's been terrific. And like I said, Freilich has been great, and another guy, Eric Guevara, has just been incredible for Auburn too. They got a lot of guys who could do some damage there. The McCrane brothers, will sneak up on you and hit a homer or a triple, every now and then. And there's just and not to mention the All-American Chris Remberts, and then what Bub Terrell has done. This is a guy who was not high on the recruiting radar, but he came in, made an impact as a freshman, and is making a huge impact as a sophomore. And if you had to look for an MVP, I think Freilich is a no-brainer. But if you were looking for like runners-up, there's a long line of people you could choose for that.
It's such we led with it. It's such an exciting time in the state with 3 super regionals being hosted. I can say, having gone to Mississippi State, we can be a bit snobby about our stadiums and all because the one thing we're pretty good at is baseball. But I absolutely love going to Plainsman Park. Yeah, it's an awkward left field setup, there's no doubt, but it is a great venue. There's not a bad seat in the house. And one of the coolest things I really enjoy, especially with big games there, is all the people that will be up in the parking garage hanging over and looking and partying. You'll see smoke wafting out of that parking garage.
It ain't from a car.
Yeah, no, it's mostly from barbecue grills. This day and age, who knows what else. But I'm telling you, the atmosphere at Plainsman Park is fantastic, and for this group, as excited as they are about this team, this should be a heck of a series tonight getting started.
No, it's their version of left field lounge, right?
Yeah, it is.
And I'm glad you mentioned that. Let's tip our hat to the Auburn fans. I mean, this team showed great patience, and these fans showed great patience too, because you had numerous weather delays. Sunday the schedule was backed up for like 3 hours, and then they had to beat UCF, and then they had another must-win game, against Milwaukee in the regional final. Had to beat them twice, and that game didn't start till 10 after 10.
Yeah,
it didn't get over with until like a little after 1. And there are some people who had to go to work the next day.
Yeah,
and they were hanging in there and staying in there with the Tigers, and then they come back Monday and they're right there again. So that Auburn fan base has just been special. What they've done in support of this team.
Well, you've seen a lot of these teams. Who, in your opinion, has the best pitching staff left, and what would be your pick if you had to pick a favorite to win it all?
Well, I mentioned this last week. I think the best arms are at Auburn.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I think Georgia's probably a close second. And that's why I said last week either Auburn or Georgia's going to win it. And then I said that Friday morning. And then later Friday, Milwaukee just tattooed Auburn. Oh boy, that pick's not looking too good. But I feel more strongly about that pick today than I did a week ago after what they did. So I look for either Auburn or Georgia to win this thing. And pitching is going to be big, but you also got to bring the bat.
Yeah.
Because if your pitching is great, you can't hit. You're not going to be there much longer either.
Jeff, in a weird quirk of the schedule, we have the 4 games today. The Mississippi State, Georgia get us started tomorrow, but then those 4 that play today are the next 4 games. Alabama doesn't go first pitch until 8 p.m. on Saturday. You could literally have a scenario where half of Omaha is set before Alabama St. John's even take the field for game 1. And I'm sure it has to do with what day they're playing in Omaha, this, that, or the other. But that just, I don't know. There's something about that I don't really love. What do you think?
Well, I don't want to say, that these baseball stadiums are like Tiger Stadium at night.
Yeah.
But there's something about any outdoor sporting event at night.
Oh yeah.
When the lights come on, and people have had all day to kind of
drink.
Yeah, exactly. And it's crazy. One of my favorite parts about this, in basketball, you don't really get a good look, at the fan bases, when the games are being played and all that. What I love is flipping through the channels during these baseball games and looking at all the fan bases behind the batter and how, just how into it they are, and, the bubbles at Texas A&M and all these kind of little traditions, that these teams have, and that's one of my favorite parts about watching games on TV.
Real quick, one question, because this is my own personal one. What happened to LSU this year? When coming into the year, I would have said they're going to be in Omaha. This is the team to beat. Pitching staff. I mean, they had some arms last year they brought in just for the World Series. I was like, God, this guy's doing 98, 99 miles per hour. He's a freshman. What happened with that program this year?
Well, I think they got killed by the current state of athletics. I mean, I think they had a lot of guys transfer out.
Okay.
I think I think they had a lot of turnover in their roster, and sometimes the coach can, create chemistry, snap his finger, and it can happen, but sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
And they just they kind of got off the track, and they never really got back on the track.
Yeah.
It was really weird.
Yeah, it was.
Because you expect LSU to be good year in and year out, but you never expect an off year from LSU baseball. But that's what we got.
Yeah, Rocco's was very upset when they heard LSU was not having a chance to come to Omaha this year, that's for sure. Jeff, just quickly, I know we very rarely talk about it, but I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up the fact that we had an individual national runner-up at the University of Alabama and a team national champion for the second time in 3 years, Auburn, men's NCAA golf champions. How about that?
Yeah, pretty amazing. And Jackson Coyven, I mean, what he did for Auburn was just his body of work. Look, this guy's a 3-time SEC Player of the Year. No D1 golfer has ever done that. Won a Conference Player of the Year award 3 years in a row. 3-time All-American. He's won the Haskins Award, the Hogan Award, which are the 2 major Player of the Year trophies. He's won those twice.
Wow.
And he could come back for another year if he wants to. Yeah. And I'm not sure what his NIL deal is, but it's got to be pretty good. And I just think that what they did they had to rely on a couple of freshmen, but Coyven was the star of the show, man. And if Nick Kleiner can get him to come back for one more year, that'd be the greatest signing he's ever made, I think. But yeah, Jennings doing what only Jerry Payton did, finish runner-up in the individual honors, and that was pretty cool, too.
I don't see why he wouldn't. Golf ain't going nowhere.
He can just stay at Duffner's house.
Well, it
ain't like he's going to get hurt on the football field. You know what I'm saying? Or
he's training oblique, but...
Yeah, and I would tell you this, too, that, we saw what Nick Dunlap did for Alabama, and we go, wow, this guy's can't miss on the PGA Tour. That's a hard way to make a living.
Exactly.
Bobby Wyatt, same way. He was a can't miss.
It's
unbelievable.
So competitive out there. And so, I mean, Jackson might be well served to play one more year at college.
I think so.
Have a blast, and then go out there and start, making some real cash.
Well, Jeff, as always, enjoyed it. Maybe Hale will show up one of these Fridays here. You can talk to him, but we always love talking to you. And, enjoy your week of baseball here, and hopefully we're talking next week about 3 Alabama teams in Omaha.
Oh, wow.
That'd be amazing. Hey, I appreciate y'all.
Have a great weekend.
That's the great Jeff Spiegel, Birmingham 3340. Make sure and check him out if you're ever up there. And you can listen to him right here every single Friday on Coach James Hale Show. I want to thank Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven. Again, Auburn, first pitch tonight, 7 p.m. against Ole Miss. Check it out there at Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven and grab those onion rings. You will absolutely love them. When we get back, let's get back around, we just throw a wild card. I don't know what we're going to do next, but you have to listen to find out. Coach James Hale Show, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Set your alarm clock to wake up with the Coach Hale Show on ESPN Northwest Florida.
We can go to a youth sporting event, drink, and you know how they can get when they don't get their way? Man, that can create a problem.
In-depth local and college sports from expert insiders and a dash of controversy.
The day and age we live in with parents going crazy, getting in fights, I don't see alcohol making that any better.
Weekday mornings 7 to 9.
5 minutes can save your life.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Lone Star Boil House and Sports Bar, where the locals go for the best boiled seafood around. Crawfish, shrimp, red royals, and everything crabs. Watch almost every sporting event in the country on their huge outdoor jumbotron. Follow them on Facebook to stay up to date on weekly events, live music, and food and beer specials. Lone Star Boil House and Sports Bar, your home away from home for sports, good times, and great food. The best boiled seafood. Lone Star Boil House and Sports Bar, 320 West 5th Street, downtown Panama City.
For thousands of years, men have been trying to learn to turn lead into gold. We haven't solved that problem at Coin and Bullion Reserves yet. However, we have figured out how you can turn all that old gold jewelry that you no longer wear that's just lying around in your jewelry box into instant cash. And folks, what kind of idiot would send their gold off in the mail to strangers? No one in the country will pay you more for your scrap gold than we will here at Coin and Bullion Reserves. And you can take that to the bank.
Your goals matter, and at Anytime Fitness Panama City, they're ready to help you crush them. With expert coaching, personal training, and virtual workouts through the Anytime Fitness app, you'll have all the support you need inside the club and beyond. Limited time only. Join today for just $1 down and start your fitness journey now. Don't wait. Visit 107 West 23rd Street, Suite W8, or call 850-818-8184. Anytime Fitness. Let's make healthy happen.
This is where heroes are created, legends are born, and dynasties forged. The Sports Talk Monster, ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michaels studio.
And welcome back into the Coach James Hale Show. On a Friday, Brian Haddad sitting in, Jason and Kyle and James rocking the Braves jersey. Braves will throw out first pitch tonight.
Go Bravos.
6:15 p.m. 6 o'clock coverage starts.
Yet?
Getting close.
I know.
First team to 40, first team to 42.
What, 22 games over 500 right now?
I love it.
I mean,
I love it. A little different than last year, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think the last three series,
they've won the last three series. That's right.
2 out of 3 wins in each one.
Yep. So Braves start a 3-game set with the Pittsburgh Pirates tonight. Again, you can listen to that right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. James, sorry to put you on the spot. You have any idea who's throwing tonight for the Bravos?
No, but
here?
we can find out real quick.
I'm wondering if Livy's going to be in town, to watch Skeens pitch.
We're going Friday.
Get my tickets early.
We're going Braves for the game cast, and it looks like Martin Perez will be going against Mitch Keller. So, it's going to be a.
We're going to save Sale and Skeens for the weekend.
Right. Yeah, that's what it looks like it's going to be. Well, Sale pitched
no,
last
Sale
night,
was
so
last
we're
night.
Not gonna, I don't think we're going to see him in the series.
Very good, very good. But
Pirates
again,
got a cool stadium.
They do.
Pirates have a
right there on the Riverwalk.
Yeah.
They're pretty good. This will be a good matchup.
You know, what I hated was there were so many of the stadiums that were built in the late 60s, early 70s that were the cookie cutter stadiums.
Right.
So
the concrete donut. Oh, man, I had to deal with that in Cincinnati when I was a kid. And the great thing about a concrete donut is you can put any kind of event inside of it. Any kind of event can go inside of a concrete donut, and every single person inside of that stadium will have an awful view.
Equally awful. It was true socialism.
The upper deck red, I mean, if you want to be scared as a young child, go sit in those seats because you're looking straight down. It looks like you're going to die.
But they all were like the old Bush,
like
Riverfront,
$15
Three
tickets,
Rivers,
so,
Philly's old veteran stadium. They all looked exactly the same. Half of
River-
them were
no
astroturf.
personality.
Yeah, and
I watched WrestleMania 3 at Riverfront. I think it was was it Animal versus Hulk Hogan when he slammed him on the pitcher's mound. I can't remember who it was. But like you said, we saw George Jones there. We saw. I mean, there's so many events that went there. Saw Eric Davis hit a home run off the Oakland A's to win that series.
I think when Camden Yards got built, and it was such a rousing success in Baltimore, that there was like, we need to put character back into baseball parks.
Well, what was the only stadium in the 60s and 70s built that wasn't dual purpose?
It's a great question.
Is there one?
There is one.
60s and 70s.
San Francisco?
No, because they were playing in the concrete donut out
Jack
there.
Murphy was dual purpose. Tiger Stadium was older.
We went to Toronto because they had a dome.
Comiskey was...
No, that was just straight baseball.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a good question.
Kaufman. It was Kaufman in Kansas City.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that's right. That's right, because the Chiefs had their own.
Yeah, because they just built them next door to each other.
And they had
shared
the
parking
waterfall
lot.
out there and all like that. Very cool.
I think baseball stadiums went from like 80, 90,000 down to about 25, 40.
Well,
and that's what they needed to
they
do.
did.
Yeah.
And they have character now, which I really enjoy.
You can look at the ballpark and go, oh, that is insert team name here versus, like with the old concrete donuts, you had to go looking around and find some kind of marketing thing that told you, oh, look, it's the Cardinals. Oh, look, it's the Reds. If you just looked at the stadium, they're
if there
both
weren't
red
players
stadiums.
on the field, you had no idea what you were looking at. I mean, you could be looking at Jack Murphy or Riverfront
late
or
80s,
any of
early
them.
90s, like Cincinnati Reds and late Dodgers, there would be 90,000 people there packed in that stadium. And they actually hosted an all-star game, and I've never seen that many people. Opening day in Cincinnati was huge. And
but I like how they condensed it. I mean, if you look at Truist Park,
right,
and what they've built around it, that is a fun weekend.
But
nothing was on TV. You listen on the radio.
That's a lot of it.
That's
a lot of
locally,
it.
So.
And some of it was all sports became so corporatized. What it was, they became corporate packages that you would get as a perk, or you would take potential clients out like that. That's why they were half empty every game.
Right.
They'd be a sellout. I mean, the Indians, they're Guardians now, Indians then. Well, they sold out like how many years in a row?
Oh,
but
it
you
was
never
like
saw a full
8-10
stadium
years
until
in a
the
row.
World Series.
Oh, that's because Progressive in town.
That's right.
Now it is Progressive Stadium. They owned something
That's right.
like 10, 12 of the big boxes, and they would just hand it out at corporate events so people might or might not show up.
I mean, it's gotten expensive. Now, this isn't tied in per se to the same thing, but one thing that I heard that was interesting, and this makes sense. I've said for years, New York is a basketball town. They love the Yankees. They love their Rangers. That's a Knicks town. And just wait for the Knicks to make the finals, and you'll see. And it's like that. It is actually cheaper for a New York resident to fly, stay, and watch the game in San Antonio than go to the Garden.
Oh, it's the same thing for Progressive Field in Cleveland. They pick up tons of Yankees fans when the Yankees go out there because it's just easier for them to go to Cleveland to watch the game than it is to go to Yankee Stadium.
Cincinnati's new stadium. My dad goes down to some weekend games. It's kind of a deal. I think you pay $25. You get a hot dog, soda, like one other thing, and a ticket for $25.
Yeah, the bleacher seats out there in Great American Ballpark are not bad out in left field. I've sat in them before, like on a $15 night. They're
Heck, a lot of them. You pay $25 just for a hot dog now.
But most of the seats are really good viewing seats. Not like the old Riverfront Stadium where you could be up there getting a nosebleed.
Yeah, just looking out at the river. You can't see anything else.
Right.
Ironically, I never saw a Braves game at Turner Field.
I saw one.
I
only saw
a ton at Fulton County, but I never actually went to Turner Field.
But I didn't enjoy them because this is when the Reds and Braves played in the national. I don't know if it was the national NLCS or right before that, but that's when we traded Dion over there, and I knew right then. I said that was a mistake. He's only hitting 268. Well, he was the heart and soul of that team. I mean, Dion brought more than just baseball, plus his defense and his ability to steal bases, and the Braves ended up winning that series. I think we traded Ron Gant to y'all too.
He had 268 now. You'd be top 20 in the league.
I know.
God's sakes. This may be hard to do in a short amount of time, but I kind of want to talk a little bit about it because Jeff bringing up the bit about the Alabama coach got me thinking about the gambling, and I had that's what a good job Rob Vaughn's done. Mm-hmm. I'd completely forgotten about this thing. So the Sorsby case, the quarterback came from Cincinnati, was originally at Indiana, and was going to be the star at Texas Tech. I think he was the number one sought-after quarterback in the portal. And, obviously now he's been declared ineligible. There's still some things going on in the court, but he's been declared ineligible for the year because he bet on Indiana, I think self-admittedly, over 40 times. Or 40 different bets?
Yeah, he put bets on games he was in. He had over 1,000 bets placed while he was redshirted.
I think
in that,
10,000
like,
was
you
the
know,
number.
Yeah, it was crazy number. It wasn't like 1,000; it was over 1,000.
I know there's so many ways we could go here. I thought Todd Monken had an interesting conversation, the head coach at the Cleveland Browns, where he said it's actually kind of a slippery slope when you talk about maybe drafting him with this. And look, we all know it was easy in the old days where it was the cardinal rule: you don't gamble when you're an athlete. And the more gambling has interjected into daily life, it's so easy to do now. You don't have to go to Vegas or Atlantic City. You can gamble in 48 states legally now, I think.
About the Carolina Panthers last night.
Exactly.
Or, Carolina Hurricanes last night.
It's not to say there still shouldn't be a separation because you have to protect integrity of the game, but this is going to be a very seminal case for holding the line or adjusting this thing going forward, because this is going to become more of an issue. These kids, they have access to it at a younger and younger age, and we know the thrill of gambling.
But it's pretty simple. Don't bet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you're in it, like I understand, hey, you're a college athlete, you're old enough to gamble, but like, don't bet in bet in baseball or basketball.
So
like, don't bet in football that you're playing in. And then even for your team,
pre-NIL, if you were putting a couple bets down to earn a little cash on the side to go out on the weekends.
Yeah.
You're making $4 million. What are you doing?
Yeah.
You know?
But isn't that part of the problem? They now have the money
they got
to
go
gamble.
But there's so much of a stigma, especially with the NFL. I think it's more important for the NFL than it is NCAA, because the stigma in the NFL for a lot of people, the games are rigged. The games are rigged. Now you're going to bring this guy in that's actually bet 10,000 times on games.
Which, by the way, let's talk about the amount that he's bid as a 21-year-old.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty crazy. That's a lot of bets.
And even the Shohei Ohtani, there's some stuff there that was not uncovered. That was like, hey, this is the face of the sport. There's no way his interpreter was spending $500,000. Where was he getting that money from? You know,
it should be pretty simple.
Well, he was embezzling at
allegedly. You play or coach in the sport. You can't bet on the sport. Yeah. You got many other sports you can bet. You can bet basketball. You can bet hockey.
All right. I say don't bet on anything. Just take it the gray area.
Let me ask the question.
You're making $4 million. You don't need the money.
Let me ask the question then, and not should he, whatever, but quick fire. Do we think Sorsby will ever play a college football down again?
Not a chance.
I say there's a chance because we've put money in this. We haven't put the sport first. Like, executives are making decisions, and Sorsby and Texas Tech sell tickets because they're going to be one of those stories. They're going to be one of those competing for national titles. And they got a lot of oil money, so they're going to find a judge, and they're going to pressure him financially or whatever. Do I think it's going to happen? No, but I say there's definitely a chance he plays this year.
See, I think he plays next year.
Possibly. I think he plays again.
I don't think he plays this year. I think it will be a one-year suspension.
Yeah, no,
they'll say that's tough enough, but
I don't see it.
I actually hope you're right.
It has to be that way.
Yeah.
If not, you're opening a can of worms where it's.
I mean, it would be one thing if there was it was kind of some ambiguity to it and whatnot, but this one's clear cut and dry.
If he was betting on the Pittsburgh Pirates, but he bet on a team he was involved with.
That's what I'm saying.
He was betting on college football just in general.
And if you remember 3 years ago, the NCAA was going to make it legal for college kids to bet on sports, and it was like, what are we doing? Like, I mean, that is terrible.
It's a ridiculously unfair comparison.
Right.
But keep in mind the softening attitude toward Pete Rose.
Yeah.
And look, he was managing, so he had impact.
Right.
And he said he always bet on him to win, which knowing Pete, I actually believe.
Probably, but
he's the eternal optimist.
Yeah, but I don't know. A lifetime.
I hope you're right.
A lifetime penalty for that? No.
My problem was
he should have been.
If you gambled only as a manager and you have proof of that, he wasn't going to the Hall of Fame to be a manager.
I knew it was a bad idea to try and do this quick, so we're going to come back to this, and we'll do this for the last segment. You're listening to the Coach James Hale Show, ESPN Northwest Florida.
The new app from 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is designed specifically for sports fanatics like you. The sports content you demand is always on. Live stream our national and local sports talk anywhere you go. Reach us on all social media. You can also be a part of the show. Call and text into our studios. Plus, up-to-the-minute weather and traffic maps. The new app from 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is available at the Apple Store and Google Play.
Good morning. This is Anna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Friday. Mostly sunny this afternoon and evening with a moderate breeze out of the south-southeast around 16 miles per hour and temps near 87. Tonight we will have mostly clear skies and a wind speed of 6 miles per hour and be warm at 72. Partly sunny tomorrow and a high 86 with a gentle breeze. Some clouds Sunday with a temp of 87. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
With over 4 decades in business, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to take your collection to the next level. All new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia and supplies, new and vintage cards and Pokemon. Buy, sell, and trade. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards inside the Stanford Station on 23rd Street next to Academy Sports. Come see the bigger store and the larger inventory or visit online, instantReplaySportsCards.com.
Looking to upgrade your truck? It's Blue Diamond Truck Accessories in Panama City. They sell, service, and install it all. Light kits, bed covers, bumpers, winches, lift kits, and any trailer hitch you can imagine. Blue Diamond Truck Accessories just west of Frankfort Avenue on 15th Street. Find Blue Diamond Truck Accessories on Facebook or call 850-914-0265. Blue Diamond Truck Accessories, 850-914-0265.
He's a beacon of light to many and an inspiration to all.
Winning.
The Coach James Hale Show, live from the J. Michaels Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hey, all right, we're coming back. Thank God these mics aren't hot during the break. Oh, man.
This kid. Wait, I'm supposed to turn those off?
Yeah, yes, you are.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, no, we're having a good time here. It was I knew it wasn't going to be enough time, but I did kind of want to get going.
We call that spillover.
There you go. There you go. So let's talk a little bit more about this. So as we kind of got into it, and I want to bring this up because I do think one of the important things when it comes to this case is establishing a precedent of punishment. And look, I understand things go in the courts. You'll sue for anything, this, that, or the other. But I think it's critical in what they do here going forward. And particularly in the United States, one of the things that has been problematic when it comes to enforcement lately, whether the NCAA is late to the game or not, they've been trying to enforce some things lately, and it always gets lessened significantly right after the fact. And then you realize, well, they don't really mean their punishment. Because I just complained about a little bit, hire a lawyer, and all of a sudden my 2-year suspension will get turned into a 2-game suspension, and I get to pick my games.
Like Michigan.
Right.
Fine.
So I think it's important they toe the line here. I'm going to bring up an example. I think I talked to you about this a couple of weeks ago. In England, and they've had this problem before too, they have a game that's called the richest game in world soccer. It's the last team that's going to get promoted from their second division, the championship.
Yeah, we talked about this.
To the premiership. And it's worth about £200 million, $250 million to that team. It's a playoff game. There's a team, Southampton, who had their own little version of Spygate. They admitted to it. They were out, filming and watching teams practice, which you can't do. They got caught. And what ended up happening is the week up, they actually booted them out of that game. That is a significant penalty. And there was a lot of actually clamor from, oh, that's too harsh a punishment. Yeah, we did it. Yeah, we agree it's wrong, but it's too harsh a punishment. They actually held the line. And I think that was critically important because not only did they hold the line in that case, but now they have an established precedent.
Right.
It has happened now. That was one of the arguments. You've never been this severe before. If the NCAA is able to maintain a hardline stance on this, it does establish a precedent going forward, does it not?
Well, and that's the issue that they've had is that they haven't been consistent with any sort of said precedents. When it comes to because it's kind of like you were talking about with like a prosecutor.
Right.
They're just pleading down.
Oh, for sure.
and pleading down. And then the next thing you know, for something that is very violent or very horrific, it's, oh, well, it's a year and then 5 years supervised probation. It's like, what? He was facing 15.
Not only that, money rules the day. Let's be honest. And Texas Tech has unlimited funds.
They do right now.
When we look at Michigan and what their punishment was versus what they should have been punished, they paid a $30 million fine for something that even the NCAA said this is one of the worst, scandals and cheating, and their advanced scouting was something that definitely had to give them an advantage, and they won a national championship. Because
and you know what that tells me? That tells me that it's like, hey, would you pay a $30 million fine to win a national championship? And
who collects the fine?
Yeah.
The NCAA.
Well,
exactly.
And in England, that's what they were saying. Just fine us.
Right.
Well, yeah, just fine us, because if we get promoted, we're going to have $250 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, fine us $30 million. That's fine.
And
that's been the problem.
Is so inconsistent, and they're a dying organization.
But what if they would have said, hey, we're not going to fine you, but for the next 4 years, you're sitting out of the playoffs? How much more impactful would that have been?
Or vacate the wins.
Well, what they do over there is they'll do a points deduction. The problem is the Premiership is its own kind of entity. Imagine college football if the big guys did break off.
Yeah.
It's its own kind of entity, so they were not mandated, if they made it to the top level, to have that points deduction count.
But I think that's a good way they could actually implement something with college football. If you got the halves and you have maybe one AA, and let's say Boise State.
Promotion relegation would be incredible.
Absolutely.
But it's not in our ethos as American sports fans.
But I think it would be interesting.
It's so
well,
exciting.
the other reason is because the way theirs works is, the population over there is 30 million, not 350 million.
Oh, sure. And look,
So-
there are financial reasons with the structure of our professional leagues to where it wouldn't work.
Well, and we have
and the owners don't want it at all either. No owner wants to have an
they
NFL
don't want
team
the
become
thought
a
of having to
not
drop
NFL
down like
team.
that.
Well, we have 7 other major sports.
That
We
is
have
correct.
Multiple teams. And
But I
all
think
that
in college
stuff.
football, when you're talking about the group of 5, they need to win a national championship there and then say, okay, we can play with the big boys and
No, I
prove
don't disagree
themselves.
with
Because putting Boise State or a TCU or one of these teams against a Georgia Ohio State, they're going to get shellacked. This is not going to be competitive. But if you invest the resources, you win the 1AA national championship, let's bump them up to D1, let them play a D1 schedule, let's see what they can do with the big boys. Because let's be honest, there's only about 14 to 20 teams that could actually win a national championship in this day and age. I mean, we're talking big time money. These rosters are getting up to 50, 60 million a year. And I think that's been the biggest problem at Florida State, and I know Florida State fans don't want to hear that. They just don't have those mega boosters that are willing to flush money down the toilet and say, I just want to see FSU win a national title.
Florida State Tech Department, develop the next Elon Musk or something now.
Right.
Because we need the money. So let me do this before I forget, because we're here on a Friday and we need to get our super regional picks in.
Oh yeah, come on, let's do it.
Here we go. The regional we did not expect we would get: West Virginia hosting Cal Poly.
I'll take West Virginia.
Yep, I'll take West Virginia too. Morgantown, baby.
Give me West Virginia.
I think I'm going to take West Virginia as well. I wasn't sure they should have hosted a regional, but they got one because they don't listen to me.
Right.
The one we really didn't expect to get, and it's so cool, being not that far from us, the Troy Trojans versus the Little Rock Trojans.
Troy all day, baby.
Go Trojans, baby.
I got Troy. Let's go.
I'm going to stick with what I said Wednesday. I'm really risking the ire of a lot of the locals, and I love Troy, and I love the town, and I may not be able to go back to it. I just got a feeling about this Little Rock team.
Get out of here.
I do. I know.
Get out of here.
Shut the front door.
Get out of here.
This is Kyle and Jason hosting the Jason. Yeah,
leave.
Anyway, I do have Little Rock. I don't feel good about it, but I do. North Carolina versus USC, one of the Big Ten's last 2 hopes, Jason, of the 3 sports sweep.
Really like this USC team. I think they've been underrated all year, but I think North Carolina is one of the top 4 teams in this and has a legit chance to win a national title if it's not like an Auburn or somebody like that. I'm on North Carolina.
I agree with that. Tar Heels.
Tobacco Row, man.
Carolina's actually been, to be as good as they are, they've been overlooked
Yeah.
because Georgia Tech was so good. UCLA was doing what they were doing, and Georgia had done things. I think Carolina's very, very solid. I think they get this one done as well. Tonight, 7 p.m. first pitch. Auburn takes on Ole Miss. Battle of SEC mega teams. Who gets this one done?
I'm going Auburn. I agree with what Jeff's. Of course, I had a brain fart right there. But I think Auburn's one of the best teams. I think that first game loss really got them focused in, and having some adversity early is never a bad thing when you actually bust through. So I think Auburn's one of the top 2-3 teams.
Yeah,
in
the sophomore stud aces.
Being at home, the atmosphere is going to be off the chain. Give me Auburn.
War Eagle.
I got Auburn. They've been on that win streak.
I got Auburn as well, same reason.
Should be a good series.
The wake-up call was huge for them. They're on 100%. A run. It's going to be big. Auburn as well. Not just because I can't pick Ole Miss anymore. Kansas versus Oklahoma. This is kind of an old Big 12 rival game here. Kansas kind of surprised a lot of people getting through. I thought Arkansas was going to come through theirs. Oklahoma definitely did. Took out my pick to win it all. So what do we like here?
I like Kansas. Arkansas is a good baseball team. I think playing at home. I think people overlooked Kansas just because they're not an SEC or a traditional ACC team. But Kansas is really good. I got Kansas.
Kansas.
I'll be different and go Oklahoma.
I'm going to make it a full split. I'm going Oklahoma as well. I really like their momentum, and I'll just be an SEC homer. Alabama versus Rick Pitino and the Fighting St. John's.
If St. John's can get out of the gate, maybe steal game one, there might be a chance. But Alabama's just too good.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, it's a game one thing. Whoever wins game one gets that one. And I think it's going to be Alabama.
Alabama's too well coached to have St. John's sneak up on them, so I think they get this one done as well. To me, the two best series are left. No shade to Auburn, Ole Miss, but Texas and Oregon, the 6 and 11 seeds going in Austin.
This is the series I wanted to watch the most. I think Texas got their pitching set up. I know they threw some secondary guys in the big SEC tournament and got it set up for the regional, dominated the regional. I think they're on a roll. I think Texas could be the favorite to win it all. I know the odds don't say that, but to me, they're hot. Schnozlegel knows how to coach and, kind of manage this team. I'm taking Texas in this.
I think Texas is one of the most well-rounded teams. I'm going with Texas.
Jay?
Quack.
Texas was my pick before the season. I'm going to stick with them to end the Big Ten's chances of three-sport domination. Thank you very much.
Y'all need to win something.
Well, exactly.
We're going to let y'all win.
We win all the women's sports. We just can't win the men's
Nobody
ones.
watches that anymore.
There you go. 1 minute to go, guys. 1 minute to go. The Battle of the Bulldogs, Georgia and Mississippi State.
I got Georgia. I think Mississippi State's going to give them all they can handle, but Georgia at home, one of the top teams in the tournament left, maybe top 2 or 3, Georgia.
I think that there's been so many upsets already. I think Mississippi State's going to upset Georgia because Georgia's probably, in my opinion, the prediction, especially since they're the oldest team in college baseball right now.
That's why I picked them.
James.
I got Georgia Bulldogs, man. They are just running, and they got a hot team. Georgia Bulldogs.
Yeah.
I'm wearing my shirt today, my national champion shirt.
2021.
I love my Diamond Dogs, my Oma Dogs. It's not going to happen this year. I got Georgia. Georgia's beat us 4 times this year. I think they're going to get it done.
Weather.
No, I just have eyes. I really do. I hate it. It's going to kill me. I've picked against Troy and Mississippi State, for God's sakes. I'm hoping I'm wrong, as usual.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Hedge your bets.
Always love coming in here. Thank you guys for coming out. Y'all get out to Max Fit Sports Nutrition. You guys call TK Vandy Roofing. James, thank you very much.
Thanks, everybody.
Paul and the crew this afternoon at 4, and Bravos at 6.
ESPN, Northwest Florida.
The Sports Blitz.
Man, I am so surprised at how many people want the mall back. People love the Panama City Mall.
Yeah, perfect place to go for a walk on a hot summer day.
What do you mean?
You're inside.
You just walk around?
I
thought that's what older people do.
Laps. Yeah,
Yes.
a mall walker.
The Sports Blitz.
Live and local, weekdays, 4 to 6.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Anna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Friday. Mostly sunny this afternoon and evening with a moderate breeze out of the south-southeast around 16 miles per hour and temps near 87. Tonight we will have mostly clear skies and a wind speed of 6 miles per hour and be warm at 72. Partly sunny tomorrow and a high 86 with a gentle breeze. Some clouds Sunday with a temp of 87. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Hewitt Tire and Auto has been in business in Panama City forever. Locals taking care of locals, from the smallest